If you search online or talk to business funding gurus, you'll often see or hear business credit and corporate credit used interchangeably. Now, because there's so much misinformation out there, it's really difficult to get the true facts about these types of credit accounts. So I wanted to jump on here and create a video that better explains the two concepts in detail. That way there's no more confusion and you can make an informed decision for your business about which is best for you. And truth be told, you may find that both will benefit you, which is completely normal and a positive. So what is business and corporate credit? How do you use it? Who's eligible for it? And how do you even apply for it in the first place? So let's get into that. What is business credit? Well, first of all, it's tangible business credit cards from major bank lenders. So we're talking places like American Express, Elon Financial, Bank of America, etc. It can be spent anywhere that you could use a credit card. So what is corporate credit? Well, those are vendor-specific trade lines. They can only be used with that vendor that you got it from. Uline, Shirtsy, Staples, Home Depot, Amazon, these are all vendors that offer this type of funding. However, if you get an account with Amazon, you have to use that account with Amazon. You can't go spend it elsewhere. So now let's get into the nitty-gritty differences. So first of all, repayment. So with business credit, it's a monthly repayment system, usually about 1% of whatever the balance is on the card. You don't have to pay off the full amount every single month. These will be personally guaranteed, which means if you default for an extended period, the account itself is going to show up on your personal credit eventually. It's a revolving account. There's usually a 0% intro offer. And if a bank gives you $20K and you spend $10K of it, you can make the minimum payment on that and carry the balance over while continuing to charge if needed. Now you look at corporate credit, those are net 30, 60, or 90-day terms. So you have to pay the balance in full by the end of whatever that term is. Now these are not personally guaranteed. Your personal credit literally has nothing to do with these types of accounts, but the business itself is responsible for the repayment. Now there is an extra level of separation and protection between personal and business finances using corporate credit, and they're no interest because you have to pay them in full at the end of each term. Now eligibility, business credit is available for brand new businesses relatively quickly. Someone with a good credit profile could access, let's say, 50 grand or more in just a couple of weeks. And when we work with individuals with stellar credit profiles, we can negotiate a 50 grand into 100 grand approval and get access to funding for them pretty quickly. Now, corporate credit, on the other hand, that takes time to build up. You need to have a Paydex score established, and if you don't have a Paydex score, you have to start building one. You basically start with tier 1 accounts, which are less known vendors that will approve for smaller amounts as sort of your training wheels of corporate credit. And then over time, you can build up through tiers 2, 3, and 4, where you establish your credibility as a business and build up your business credit report. After all that's done, then you start getting approved for the higher amounts with the better known vendors. And so that's the more in-depth difference between these two. With business credit, you've got tangible credit cards. You can spend that money wherever you need to for your business. Corporate credit are the vendor trade lines that can still help your business grow, but they don't give you the absolute freedom to go spend wherever you want to spend. Now, needless to say, these are two very important types of funding that your business may need, but they are certainly not the same thing. So then the question becomes, why are they so commonly mixed up with one another? Well, in my opinion, it comes down mostly to ignorance. The words corporate and business are synonyms in the English language, so it stands to reason that they could be interchangeable in the world of business. So for a lot of people, they're barely able to keep all the ins and outs of personal credit in their head, much less that on top of two additional systems of credit. So for a lot of people, they just don't know what they don't know. However, the other major reason why they get interchanged so much is because it makes a more attractive sales pitch. Because there are credit gurus and programs out there that merge business and corporate together in their sales pitch because it allows them to make bigger promises with less information from you, the consumer. Oh, I can get you 50 grand in business funding in 30 days. Well, how do you know that? You haven't even looked at my credit yet. What if I filed for bankruptcy like 10 minutes ago? Well, because corporate credit can be that formulaic and timed if you go about it the right way. But saying, well, I could get you 50 grand in vendor accounts that you can only spend with those same vendors in 30 days doesn't sound as impressive, but it's a lot more truthful. So that's why there are so many places that mix those ideas together, because business credit is a lot more specific to the individual, whereas corporate credit is almost a blanket type of funding for any business and any entity. Now let's talk about how do you acquire these types of funding. This is going to be a very, very quick overview, but if you want me to do a more in-depth video on this, then give the video a like, comment down below, and we'll get started on it. So with corporate credit, you need to get an EIN. You got to get your phone number listed on record. You got to confirm your business is set up with the Secretary of State. You have to get a DUNS number, and you got to start applying to vendors. Then you use and repay those vendor accounts for a few months, and then seek new higher tiered accounts after those have seasoned. Now for business credit, there are a ton of moving pieces to apply for business credit. So many, in fact, that we created an entire masterclass out of it to teach you all about it. So if you're interested in checking that out, I've actually linked it below. We talk about how to prepare your personal credit because you want it to look as good as it can before you apply, how to properly set up your entity so you can get approved quickly, how to maintain the zero interest offers from the banks even past their initial period, and so much more. There is genuinely so much knowledge shared in that masterclass, and after watching, thousands of entrepreneurs have been able to implement those strategies and get access to the funding that they needed to start or grow their business ventures. So definitely be sure to check that out if this is something that you're looking to get more involved in. In any case, I hope this video has helped you better understand the difference between business and corporate credit accounts and how you can use both within your business. They are both absolutely lucrative business funding options, and then you really can't go wrong with either one. As always, thank you so much for joining me here on today's video. I'm Zach Ritchie, and I look forward to seeing you next week in our new video. Take care.